This is a Big Don production, and WJRG Sports presents our sports talk. My name is Henry Green. I'm sitting in tonight for my brother Jerry Green, and we're going to introduce everybody real quick. We got the Bishop Ernest Richards with us tonight. How you doing, Bishop? We have Anthony McLean. How are you, Anthony?
Doing good, doing good.
Kendall, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great.
And we got Larry Pearson.
Getting ready to go back to Super Bowl.
All right, and we're going to turn it over to Donald Franklin. How are you, Donald?
I'm great. I'm just going to start it off a little bit and talk about a few things. Then Henry's going to come along later with the drama. That's the way we're going to do it this time. Because Jerry said we got to bring the drama now. So
that's my thing. What are you talking about? Of course.
Drama, so I ain't got no drama, but I'll start it off a little bit because I wanted to ask a question about Shannon Sharp, and the ESPN thing. See, we all know he got fired. We all know what the situation was. I ain't going to get into that. I'm just saying, by that all being his personal life, is it really to fire him for that? Is it right to just come out and fire him for that? What do you guys
Well, it seems to be a lot of times these guys have a thing called morals clause. And when you sign the contract, they have those stipulations. Now, if it was something that happened before he was employed by them, they usually cover that. But this seemed to happen, while he was employed by them. As a matter of fact, there was an incident where, it was played out. Remember the phone was left on? Anybody remember that?
Yeah.
So that's what it is, and usually that's the case.
Okay. I was wondering because, I felt it might have been a little unjust, but now that you explain it that way, there probably was some clause in there. So
and the timing. And the timing of it kind of too, I think, was a little, my thinking is if you're that, Kendall's 100% correct about the morals clause, but I thought that, in a sense, it should have happened maybe sooner. I thought that they sort of covered themselves up more than anything else so they could just sort of, wash their hands of the situation. And also, let's be honest, this isn't the only person who's had these kind of dealings at the Mouse while they were there. So there's been a history of it over the years. So again, I the sad thing is, I think it wasn't even about Shannon. I think it was about them sort of distancing themselves from the whole situation.
Okay.
But this has happened before with Shannon.
Yeah.
Years back. Yeah. And they let it go. They swept it underneath the rug and nobody talked about it. And when it came for the second time, then they decided to push the issue. They said, this is not a great scenario. You know what I'm saying? If this keep happening, if you look back, and the receiver for the Dallas Cowboys was in the same thing, and they let him go after a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Michael Irvin made a change in his life and all that other stuff,
But they brought him back, and then they let him go. Because it doesn't have to be, a reason. But if this stuff keeps coming up, and you become, if you just the way you act, like the moral clause is, and you don't represent them right, they can let you go.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what about Gilbert's Arena? Are you saying something, Bishop?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, no. Still can't hear you.
Yeah.
Bishop got a little.
How about now?
There you go.
Yep,
There you
we can hear you
go.
now.
All right. We have to get off the morals clause with ESPN because they've had too many incidences. I'm talking about, we can name people like Stephen A. What was the other guy that Shannon was teamed up with before they parted company?
Skip Bayless.
I mean, there were a bunch of them. ESPN, I know they don't want any part of this. Put your disclaimer out there and move forward. If the guy's giving you ratings, you keep him. If he ain't giving you much of anything, I can understand trashing him. But at the end of the day, Shannon Sharp, the person that did it to you was you. You dropped the boulder on your own foot. So, there's nobody to blame here except you. When you went out, you should have got married. Personally, I thought he should have got married while he was still in the NFL. All this extra.
Hey, you don't roll like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He should have got married when he was in the NFL. I mean, here you are now, 150 years old, trying to mess with trying to rob the cradle. You already know, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, and put the disclaimer out, somebody, after I say what I'm going to say. You can't be messing with the young ladies of the excessively lighter skin and not expect some kind of kickback. End of story.
End of story.
But I think all that was just a cover up, because they challenged his manhood many times.
Yes, they did.
Sometimes,
and that's when all this stuff started, leaving the phone on while they having sex and all this stuff like
that's
that.
what I was talking about. Yeah.
But it was put out there like that because they said for many years, people talked about Shannon Sharpe,
anybody
going both ways.
Any kind of morals about themselves is going to make sure there are no cameras, there are no microphones, and the girl ain't 15. I made that part up. But the truth of the matter is, you got, even and every one of you, Big Don Productions, you got a name. All they need to do is see you in the wrong place at the right time. Suddenly, they're going to start land blasting you. Kendall, you got a name. Anthony, you made a name. You got a name, Henry. You got, because you're running for KC and OKC, we have to work on it. Truth of the matter is that when you got a name, you have to protect your brand. And Shannon Sharpe failed to protect his brand.
But
he was trying to cover his brand. He was trying to show that everybody he was this big time man that was doing all this, but he created a monster. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, he failed to protect his brand. He allowed somebody to come in and put stamps on his brand that really did not belong to him, and in his efforts to show his or make demonstration of his manhood, he went about it the wrong way.
Yes, he did.
And what's crazy is he got warned about this on his show by Cat Williams. And if I remember correctly, by Monique as well.
Exactly.
When Monique says, she said, "Get yourself an older woman." But you remember that, baby?
Yeah. I mean, it's what's Forrest Gump say? Stupid is as stupid does. I mean,
there you go.
Okay, Henry, let Henry talk.
So as far as like what Kendall said with in the language in the contract, because you take that CEO where he was at the concert, the Coldplay concert, right? And then, they did the Kiss Cam or whatever what it was, and somebody took a video of it, right? He had to resign.
Yeah.
Because of that.
But you got to understand his position, Henry. He resigned because number one, his wife and his kids saw that video.
And his wife is human resources.
But what I was saying though, as far as the moral clause in the contract, as far as the company that he worked for, I don't know. I guess he did because he was CEO. I don't think he owned the company, but with the board of directors, he signed that contract.
That's it.
And so that's the same thing with Shannon Sharpe. With ESPN, as far as like if you sign a contract saying you got to carry yourself in a certain way. So you got to keep yourself out of scandals and stuff like that.
You bring up the Coldplay scenario. The concert. First and foremost, you married. You going into a public place. What are you, some kind of stupid?
they were hugged up at that.
Yeah, and big time hugged up.
They were
now,
hugged up
I know you guys, you saw the video, and I'm one of those, I like to examine a video close. And if I'm not mistaken, his left arm was wrapped around where her brassiere should have been holding.
Yeah.
Okay? So, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to get caught on the Kiss Cam, but yeah.
So I got another one with Gilbert's Arena. I don't understand that gambling that well, but he's not even playing ball, is he?
No.
So what they doing with him then? I don't understand.
He's probably working with the NBA in an office capacity. and they don't allow you to gamble or bet on any games at any time. Now you can't do college; they can't stop them for college football, college basketball, but anything pertaining to the NBA, you're not supposed to do it. Remember, y'all, Gilbert's got put out on the gun charges. Oh, I can't remember how long ago, early '90s.
He
That was
was,
a
he
while
was,
back.
he was with the Washington Wizards, right? When
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
Yes,
yeah.
before he got
But
traded.
he got an office job. I don't know with which company. Last I heard, it was either the Clippers or the one of the West Coast teams. So when they caught him, hello, and what made probably the eye opener was he probably hit for a large sum of money. When you hit for big money, $1 million, something like that. I'm not saying that's what he did, but it was big enough that it got announced. And when it gets, that'd be like me. All right, Bishop Ernest E. Richard just won the lottery for 750 million. Don't call me, not one of you, because get on social media, run my name in the ground, and when you're done, I'm still gonna have $700 million.
Look, I'm
I have
gonna
a
call. I'm
question.
gonna call you for some money. I ain't trying to put your name in the
Hey,
ground
Yeah,
has
yeah, really.
anyone
unless you
seen
clear it
this
out.
series called Shooting Guards on Netflix? Called Shooting Guards.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen that. I
Oh
haven't
my
seen
God!
I
And
heard
listen,
of
listen, hear me out, gentlemen. You have to see it. It reminds me of once that R. Kelly thing came on and we knew who he was, they locked him up. When
uh-huh.
you see the Shooting Guards, you're probably going to have an interesting opinion of Gilbert Arenas. You're going to blame him for the career of that other individual. And it seems, I'm not saying it is, but after seeing Shooting Guards, we should revisit this conversation
All right,
because
I
you
will. I
you
will.
got to see it on
Let's do that.
Netflix.
Let's do
On
that.
You got to
Netflix.
see it.
Yeah.
As
Shooting
sports
guard.
reporters, it's responsible.
and
Very
and
deep.
and Gilbert's been doing this show like what Matt Barnes
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Oh,
Gil's
like
Arena.
yeah,
Steven Jackson. Because
yeah,
there's a bunch of shows. There's a bunch of shows now. There's a bunch of them out here now with ex-athletes, and they've
Yeah.
gotten very popular.
Yeah.
So that's another, and I'm sure that the companies that they work with have that same morals clause, because end of the day, these companies are covering themselves. So when these
Yeah.
guys
exactly.
wind up doing something that's a little off center, they can always just fall back and just say, hey, we can you ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Kendall, is
Bishop.
it a series? I mean, is it a
No, it's
series or a
just
movie?
it's yeah, it's on Netflix. It's if you go to Netflix, put in Shooting Guards, it's like a one-shot thing. It's Untold. It's
Yeah,
called
but
Oh,
Untold.
okay.
It's about an hour
if
or
I
two.
can, I know what you're talking about, Kendall. You mentioned Jackson. They're talking to different players. Their last escapade, I think, they did one on Michael Jordan. They did one on Dr. J. They did one on
Yeah.
Magic.
No, but Gilbert Arenas and the guy that's involved in it actually do the talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
they
you're gonna see how Gilbert Arenas affected this man's life. When you see it, first of all, I just watched it about a couple weeks ago and it blew me away. I don't know what made me watch it, but now that when you see something like that, then all of a sudden now Gilbert Arenas is sort of on the radar. I think after seeing that, I believe that somebody pretty big decided that if this guy is going to get away with something, they're not going to let him do it. Like he got his pass, you know what I mean? Like O.J. Simpson, he got his pass. He still wanted to go steal. So now, you know what I mean? You didn't act right, man. You got your pass. And Gilbert Arenas was one of the very few NBA players like that was paid for years and years after he left the NBA. He signed that big old
that's a good
contract.
contract. He
The
got
Wizards, yeah.
a
Yeah,
10-year contract, and
yeah,
then
he's,
I think it's still
all
got another couple of years left on it too, if I remember
yeah,
correctly.
he sure did for
of
years.
that money was guaranteed. All of
Yeah.
it. So
Wow.
and you know what? I'll give you another figure, and I know you want to go to the next subject. You remember Bobby Bonilla for the Mets?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know that.
He's
Don't
July
remind,
1st.
please don't remind me of that. I have to be
Yeah.
reminded
I
that
know,
November
I know. I
first.
feel your pain.
What do you
I
have, like a
pay
20-year?
it,
What do you have, a
but to
20-year
this
contract?
day, he's still getting paid. To this
For
day,
like 10 more years from now.
Yeah.
How
exactly.
far is it,
Mhm.
Anthony? How long is it gonna go? Like 2030 something?
I believe
Early,
2032 or 20. It's put it this way. Hopefully, our show is still on when when that thing runs out, because it's hey, you credit his agent for being able
Yeah, to pull that off.
to do that.
$197 million lifetime contract, or not lifetime, 30-year contract or something like that. 40
About
years.
as close to lifetime as you can get.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
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 But what are you gonna do? You were saying
Every
something.
July 1st.
I wanted to say, I was hoping the legend be here today because I was ready for him. I was gonna definitely go with the Jerry Jones. What's going on, blah blah blah. But the legend said he couldn't make it. We understand. I'm gonna save it for
Wait a
Tuesday.
minute. I tell you what, Don. Go ahead and ask your question.
Listen.
I put on
Before
a
I go to
good.
you, Bishop,
I put on a good Bruce, a good Bruce
no,
Austin check. Yo.
I go to you next. But right now, I got to go to an ex-Cowboy man. See, I happen to know an ex-Cowboy man, and he know who he is now. So I like you don't know who you are, Henry. Go ahead, like you don't know who you are. You know who you are now. I gotta go to an ex-Cowboy man.
Donald, when you say X,
Now, am I wrong?
team.
Wow.
He go to when he was winning.
But what I would say is, to me, when I look at now, you remember when they showed when Jerry Jones was a teenager, and I can't remember, but in Arkansas, because he grew up in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like, as far as being racist or
Yeah,
whatever.
Central High.
Right?
Central High.
Okay, so
Yep.
when I look at this thing and then I say, okay, so first it was that, then it was C.D. Lamb, and even if you go back to Emmitt Smith, now you got Michael Parsons. So now when I look at, you didn't have no issue with the quarterback. What's his
Tony
name?
Romo, Aikman.
Aikman. No issues.
Right.
Jason Witten or A&M guys, they all were great players. I'm not saying they weren't, but they all got paid. There was no issue with none of them guys as far as contracts, as far as extensions. So I just look at the pattern, and then I just look at it and I say, okay, and these guys are star players now. And why is he having all the drama with the black players, with his black star players? So that, to me, that just kind of right there.
Just say it out loud. Say what you mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
As saying, why is that happening? So
you know what?
What I mean? So I'm just looking at it from that standpoint of.
Can I take a stab at it?
If it happened with Tony Romo or some other guys, no issue. But now it comes to these guys, especially the last 3 years, you can see.
Yeah.
It's a pattern. So
it's not just this last 3 years. It's been a history since he's been there.
Right. So he can say one thing, but his actions are saying something else. I don't know if you guys seen it. From what I'm seeing, that's how I'm seeing it.
Sure.
You're smart enough to understand this, Henry.
As far as the drama what's going on right now, if
Listen,
you see a pattern.
Hold on. You're smart enough to know this. It begins with their agents. They tell their agents what they're looking for, and then it becomes the agent's responsibility to go get it. Now, if they meet conflict, you ever notice the agents are never mentioned? We're talking about Parsons and Jerry Jones. There is a middleman that created this dialogue and created this little mess that we see. Not just Prescott, not just Smith, Parsons, Lamb, all of them. And it's going to continue to happen. Jerry Jones is the kind of guy that he's going to try to get the best out of you for as little as possible. We all got that established. We've seen that. How many head coaches has he kicked out? I'm not going to just go with the black players. He's kicked out white coaches. Got rid of Jimmy Johnson, who was his winningest coach behind Landry. The winningest coach he's had behind Landry. He got rid of him because he just simply didn't like him. So I'm not going to make a quote unquote racial figure out of this. I'm going to go after the middleman. In this case, the agents created this avenue and the separation that we're now seeing. That's me, my opinion.
There's not an owner in football that's as visible with their team as Jerry Jones, even to the point that he came out and kneeled during that Kaepernick situation. It's like an ego situation. When Jimmy Johnson built that team, and I always say Barry Switzer inherited that Jimmy Johnson team that was going to win. So I say Jimmy Johnson has 3 Super Bowl wins. It was about Jimmy Johnson, sort of like it was with Mike Ditka and Buddy Ryan. You know what I mean? There was a conflict there. And I just think the difference between, Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka, that's a coach and assistant coach. This is an owner and a coach. So now you're going to get rid of this guy. You're going to win with the team that he recruited, but you're not going to win again. So that's just saying a whole lot about your infiltration when it comes to the team. And I brought this up on Tuesday. It causes a divider because now Michael Parsons, who's pretty much one of the best defensive players in the game, is talking about being traded. Get rid of me. You know what I mean? I mean, you're going to pay him, but pay him so he can get into camp. Now, when he gets into camp, watch, he's going to have suspect 2, 3, 4 games, and could be some game changers that he would have had he been in shape. Cowboys are just going to go down that same road that they've been on, and it usually starts right from the beginning. We always see the manifestation of things, right? We look at the branches and the roots. We never look at the seed where it started, and that's where it is, right there. It's consistent with him.
And
Gotcha.
the crazy thing with Jerry is that if not for Steven, number one son,
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel would have been a bust for them. He wanted, he wanted to draft guys for show more than anything else. And to me, Jerry is still trying to outlive Jimmy. I think that's I know it's been almost 20 years or so now, but the whole vibe with him, and he allowed his ego to get in the way of this franchise. And even if you're not a Cowboy fan or what have you, it seems like he's been trying to justify getting rid of Johnson even some 20 years later on. And coaches, between some of the questionable moves and then with the contract thing, and like Kendall said, every one of these owners, if they could pay minimum wage for every one of these players, they would. There's no difference. Fundamentally, there's no difference between Mike Brown or the Bengals and Jerry Jones. It's just we know that Mike Brown, probably still has the first dollar that he ever made, and that's why Cincinnati every year has at least 3 or 4 guys that hold out. But because the Cowboys are so, visible, the whole America's team thing and everything like that. I mean, they're basically in that whole stratosphere with the Yankees and the Montreal Canadiens and the Lakers and the Celtics because they are a brand.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it, because he can't see the one thing Jerry can't do is cry poor.
No.
That's right.
He probably makes more money just off of AT&T Stadium than he does with the Cowboys.
Wow. What do you say, Larry?
Guys.
But you got to think about this. There's no other owner out there that loses as much money as Jerry does. Now look at Kansas City. Kansas City thinking years and years ahead. Even though they gave Mahomes this great big contract, they keep it up to date every year. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes up and up and up. You plan stuff like that out. You don't have to wait till the last minute to sign somebody, because when you sign them later, you're going to pay extra money, because the prices are not going down, they're going up.
You're right.
Like before, the next contract come out for defensive end, it might be 42 million, and that's what he's going to want. But if you'd have paid him earlier, you could have cut that down.
He might be the standard,
$5 million,
He might be the standard, Larry, because I think the highest contract now for an edge rusher is about 41 and change.
It's 41, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
that guy
Garrett
JJ
just got
Watts,
that, I
not
think.
JJ Watts, the guy from Pittsburgh.
Repeat that
the
No, I
again.
think, Watt. Yeah, that's right. He just
Yeah,
signed
but
his.
what got
JJ
that? But it
Watt.
don't
Yeah.
take effect to 3 years from now. So
Okay.
that's
It's over
really
what?
not.
Over 3 years.
Within 3 years from now, he's gonna get that. So that's not really effective. They can say that on paper, but he's not getting paid that until then. You know.
I think
Volume
Garrett
stays
is
healthy.
a
It
high
keeps
school
playing.
guy now. But
All right.
it's
Hey, I want to throw this up there right quick. The Big Don Production and KMI Medium International Family, the Jerry Green Showcase, October the 4th at 5:30. I see it up here. No, doors open at 5:30. Show starts at 6. And we're going to have a great time there with this showcase. It's going to be one of our best ones. And we also going to have a little special introduction there. We're going to do Bishop, Dr. Bishop Ernie Bishop is going to.
All right. Congrats, Bishop.
So everybody come out to see that one there. And I want everybody to understand why we calling him Doctor now. We got to throw that in there.
That's
He's
his
doctor
name.
now. We got to give him his due.
That's right.
Well, and Bishop
right?
Doctor.
All
I
right.
found out that's the order you say it. Bishop.
Doctor.
Yeah,
you.
Bishop.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that's
for that.
I looked it
I
up.
didn't
I had
have a
to,
clue, but I was trying to do
like they
it.
say, they say Reverend Doctor
Yeah,
so and so, Reverend Doctor
Bishop
Martin Luther
Doctor.
King.
We got you,
Bishop
now,
Doctor. That's the way it goes.
Actually, Kendall.
Because God goes first, man. Huh?
You're right. It's Reverend Doctor as opposed to Bishop Doctor, because the bottom line is an ecclesiastical thing. They don't necessarily say Bishop Doctor. A lot of them say Reverend Doctor, but it doesn't deplete what God is doing.
We can say Reverend Doctor, who happens to be a bishop.
And
All right.
that way too. I'm looking at that tam on my head. What the heck was I thinking?
Yo, man, you looking good, man. What are you talking about? Looking great, man. That's a doctor right there, man.
They look like a shot out of the 70s.
Yeah.
I want to throw
Look like
one more thing out there before I turn it over to Henry. I want to talk about Kevin Durant going to Houston, because we heard the rumors, but now it's happening.
Wow.
What do you guys think of that move? Kendall, what do you think of that move? Come on.
Well, Kevin Durant is just, jumping, hopping. Houston had a really good team. He's one of two things going to happen. He's going to be the missing piece to the puzzle that can take them over the top, because they were absolutely dangerous. And for what they gave up, they saved their main pieces. And Ime Udoka is a pretty good coach. I mean, he's on a good team. He's a bandwagon jumper. He's worse than I am. So he's on a good team. Houston's a good team. What can we say? And Kevin Durant get 25 points in his sleep. So it's a good shot for Houston.
So
I don't think they get past SGA though. Okay,
is it safe to say we can stop talking about LeBron James jumping on teams?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so.
So Anthony, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think he's going to be like a Yoda type for them. Maybe like about maybe 30 minutes or so a game. Maybe be a mentor to. I hope for at least Houston's sake, he grabs one of those youngins or either just all of them, and mentors them, because they've got a good little squad.
Yeah,
I think they're literally looking for him to be not so much a player coach, but just a veteran influence, and he's gonna they're gonna lean on him more later in the season when they're trying to get into the playoffs. I mean, he's gonna do his thing early on, but this was a move made for the playoffs more than anything else.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bishop?
I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is the first I'm hearing that the rumor is true. Kevin Durant will bring something to the table for Houston, but at what expense? And that's really where my concern is, because we saw Houston, we saw that they were maybe a player shy, scoring wise, from getting to the next round, possibly to the championship. You're going to have to sacrifice something. And I think the sacrifice is going to be on the bench. The bench minutes are going to dwindle down by about maybe 5, 10, 15%. But
Mhm.
that could hurt them when you get to the playoffs. Because if it weren't for the bench at Houston, a lot of those games Houston would not have been in the playoffs. So
That's
we have
true.
to wait to see how this plays out. I think he's a good pickup, a good asset. The question is the coach going to be able to balance the time between Durant, the bench, and whoever else plays close to that position? That's my opinion.
What do you think, Larry?
It was a good move in a way, but I think it cost him too much. I think, like you said, the bench going to be the big thing. Now they ain't strong as they used to be.
Hmm.
I think when it comes down to it, when it get close to playoff time, you're going to see that, you know. And Durant is not somebody that's going to take you from start to finish. Okay,
Nope.
he's going to
Nope.
get in there and do his thing. And after he's out, they ain't got enough firepower to keep them going for a full game, especially in the playoffs.
All right, Henry, what's up?
So I'm gonna get my thoughts in before I go to the next topic. When I look at Kevin Durant and I look at his track record, and when I look at since he left Golden State, he went to Brooklyn. I'm not blaming him, but it turned out to be a disaster. Then he went to Phoenix. Now the year before he went to Phoenix, they went to the NBA Finals.
Right.
It turned out to be a disaster. So now he's going to Houston, a team that's loaded, and he should be the missing piece. But then I just say, when I look at his track record, since he jumped ship and went to Golden State and teamed up with Stephen, then he should have stayed, but he left. Looking at his track record, I'm not expecting a whole lot out of Houston. Something's gonna happen where it's just not gonna come to. It was a number 2 seed last year in the Western Conference. I don't know. I just look at something with him wherever he's going since he left Golden State just ain't working.
Well, let's talk about this now. Where he's at now, going to Houston, he went to school at Texas. So he sort of kind of got a fan base down there from his days of college.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom line is simply this. Kevin Durant is going to be Kevin Durant one way or another. He's not what you call a leader, but he can set a great example. So he is in that defining moment in his career where he's got to make some decisions. And some of these young cats are going to be looking up to him. Yo, dude, here we are. What do we do with this? I mean, you can't sit there and suddenly develop a Tennessee tuxedo mimic. Now, here's a riddle. How do we get into the playoffs and win? I know. We get on the court. No, let me stop.
That's more like Trump League in Tennessee.
well, you guys got to think though that they definitely picked him up because they was in second place last year.
Yeah.
So they definitely got to pick him up to get over that hump.
Yeah, they're not getting past second place.
If they can't get over that hump, to me, this is a bust.
They're not getting past Oklahoma, OKC. They're not getting past. Give me the other team over there. Joker's team. They're not getting
past
Denver.
The Nuggets. They ain't getting past the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, OKC. They could possibly have some problems with the Lakers because that, to me, that's not even. But the Lakers can beat them.
And Golden State.
Yeah, well, the Lakers can, and we haven't even talked about Golden State, but they got to figure out who's going to be their middleman because they got a little turmoil going on up there all by themselves. You might as well go grab Brittany Griner or somebody. That's about all. Anyway,
let me ask this right quick since he brought up Brittany Griner. How do you think about the way she's getting treated all of a sudden? Is there any truth to this, or y'all heard the story, right?
I heard.
No, I know she got ejected from the game, but I didn't.
Well, they're trying to say Brittany Griner's a man.
That's what they're trying to say.
That's what they're
trying to say. They've been saying that since she was in high school.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a long time.
She might be.
No, she ain't, Larry.
She might be.
No,
nobody did no exam. Nobody did no exam.
I'm gonna put it to you like this: if Brittany Griner was ever a man, she has hidden it so well for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
But she been taking male hormones for a while.
She can take as many as she wants, but here's the thing. If you are a man, there are certain things that just don't go away right away. Every last one of
You
us
can get rid of it.
No, every last one of us has that package. And even though you hack off the package, the productive system of that package does not just go away. I don't care how you seal it up. Now,
But there's only so much they can do on an exam, though.
Harry, whether she has estrogen or testosterone, we're gonna fight. If she break a back for it, I might believe you.
I wonder if there's any coincidence that she challenged DeMarcus Cousins to a one-on-one, and even Gino Auriemma said that he put the money on DeMarcus Cousins, and she's making a lot of fun and going against the established veterans and saying stuff like that. So I think that kind of backfires on you.
I agree.
I didn't know what was going on, but I did know that they was accusing her, and it's getting to be more and more, and
they've been saying that since, like I said, before she even went to Baylor.
Yeah.
Her voice, her feet.
Well, back then, you could understand it before she went to Baylor, but now,
if you go in the restroom and she's in there standing up, now we got problems. But we ain't got to worry about it.
They got some transgender people you can't even tell.
That's right, they do.
So,
listen, go to Atlanta.
Hey, when there's smoke, there might be fire. When there's smoke, there might be fire.
Look better than some of the women.
Somebody knows something.
Yeah. So who knows as far as like what's going to happen there? So, I'm asking you guys, since the NFL, as far as with the Washington Commanders, the trade with the wide receiver Terry McLaurin, he also requested a trade because he can't reach a contract negotiation with them. So, what's you guys' thoughts on that as far as with the Commanders? I know they did bring in what's the guy from the 49ers?
Debo Sanders.
They brought him in. So they, to me, that's a sign Washington was saying then. Well, we ain't planning on signing him. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think it's a huge mistake. He's the best receiver they got on the squad.
I agree.
The thing is, what they saying, they not gonna pay him no $33 million this year, But I think they should come for the money. They think they can get these rookies out here and get them up to speed. But letting him go would be the worst thing Washington Redskins can ever do. Especially for their new quarterback, because him and McLaurin, they got chemistry. They got a lot of chemistry. And when you take that away from him, even with Debo Sanders, you're not going to get the same effect.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's my question: What's on his tires now too? About it? What is Daniel? Because Daniels is the one that's got to throw the ball to him. What's there? I mean, that was his number one target. Why are you taking my number one target? If I'm in Daniel's shoes, I want to know, why are you removing or possibly taking away my best target? Anytime, and if you watch, especially if you watch the Lions, I want to say Redskins, so I want to say Redskins. Get over it if somebody watch the Lions Redskins game in the playoffs. I mean, every time he needed a big play, who did he go to? McLaurin. Okay. So what you're gonna now is set him back about 2 seasons, trying to get the Debo Samuels and the second tier or third tier receivers they have. If I was the owner of the Redskins, the heck with the Commanders stuff. I don't like Commanders no how. But I'm the owner of the Redskins. I'm paying the man. Move on. Get him in a long-term contract. I mean, not a 4 or 5 year contract, 7, 8 year contract at $33 million. You at least stretch the money out. Guarantee at least 30% of that money and move forward.
You think you're having lunch with Jerry Jones?
He might be.
That'd be just like Jerry, not wanting to pay Parsons, but we'll pay McLaurin.
But we'll pay exactly.
That's the kind of thing that sets back a rookie quarterback. He develops chemistry, has a legendary year, and then you take away his number one receiver.
Yeah.
They didn't get a chance to just practice what they're doing in practice. He's got to sit on the sideline. It hurts him.
It does. It hurts the entire
And they
franchise.
didn't. And they didn't bring in any. They didn't bring in any running backs either.
No.
That's the thing, because even you could offset it a little bit if you had, say, a not so much a Barkley type, but somebody that could take the load off. Now there's even added more pressure. And the thing is, they got within a game of the Super Bowl.
That's exactly right.
It's did Dan Snyder take over overnight by mistake?
I was gonna say the same thing.
It's crazy.
No, Snyder took over, but the problem with Snyder was he was kind of feeling it out, I think. That's my opinion again. But now he should have a good enough feel for this team to know, hey, I need these pieces. Come on, I need you to give me what I need.
Snyder's not there.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was joking. I was saying,
No,
this
he's
Right,
fooling
right.
around.
He was joking.
yeah.
He's saying like it's like a Dan Snyder move.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a crazy move.
Exactly.
Hey, listen.
Those are all the good karma that they've developed from the sale.
The Vikings and trying to make sure JJ McCarthy don't go down because we got no backup quarterback. Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
But if they let him go to Kansas City,
I know it made me mad. Minnesota had
we
a
will
shot
pick
at
him
Trey
up.
Lance. And where's he end up? With the Chargers. I'm like,
Talking about
Wesley, what are you
quarterbacks.
doing? I'm gonna leave it
So I'm
alone.
gonna ask you guys this question. In the NFC, we're talking about just the NFC, not the AFC, just the NFC. Who is the best quarterback in the NFC? Let's start with you, Bishop.
I'm looking and I'm trying to think. Right now, I'm looking at Baker Mayfield.
NFC?
NFC. He's NFC.
Baker Mayfield?
I can't find one. I'm looking in my mind. Who?
What about
How about the guy in Philly?
I was getting ready to go to him. Can he stay healthy? Because if he stays healthy, he is the best quarterback. I know you were talking about. And then I'm looking at Daniel. He has that potential, but that was only 1 year. Other than that, I don't see any other quarterbacks. And I mean, everybody wants to throw Kirk Cousins in there, but he's about to go on the bench because that kid
He's on the bench.
got now. Cousins
Oh,
is
yeah,
the backup. Yeah,
Phoenix
Cousins
is
is going to be an automatic backup quarterback after that guy get finished.
Yeah, what about you, Larry? Who's you say in the NFC? Who's the best quarterback?
In the NFC, as far as experience, as being a quarterback, I think you got to go with Dak, okay? Even though he with Dallas, he got a lot of experience, and he's really a good quarterback. But I think Jaden Daniels is only 1 year. And Philadelphia, you got to put him. He's on a good team, but I don't think he's in the top 5 quarterbacks. He does good with his team because they got a great offensive line. They got great receivers. He do everything he need to do to win, and that's why they win. He's not the main reason they win. He's not the main reason. He's part of it. But for a quarterback to carry their team, I think Jaden Daniels does more of that, and so does Dak. They got more pressure on them to do that because they don't have an offensive line. They ain't got any great running backs.
One more person before we move on. And I can't erase Geno Smith because the last 2 years he has proven himself to be a good quarterback, not a great, just a good quarterback. So I got to include Geno Smith in that conversation.
Okay,
He's with the Raiders
what
now,
about
though.
you, Anthony?
Oh, he's with the Raiders now?
I think it's Hurts, no doubt.
So he went AFC. Okay, erase that.
Yeah, I think Hurts, it's not like he hasn't been doing this. This is he's been in the playoffs the last 3 years, been in the Super Bowl 2 of those last 3 years. He doesn't have to be the guy, but the thing is, I don't think they would look. He basically outplayed arguably the best quarterback in the league the last 2 Super Bowls. I think that's pretty clear in the Super Bowl. To me, there's nobody else in the NFC right now that's better than him. Dak still has to win a meaningful playoff game. A lot of other teams are in transition. Baker's, I guess Baker may be second or third by proxy, but no, I
Throw
mean,
Jared Goff in there too.
I
huh?
forgot about
For me, Matthew Stafford,
Stafford's good too.
Sanford's good, but not
Jalen Hurts,
five.
Matthew Stafford.
Stanford's top 10 to me.
But Jalen Hurts, like Anthony said, Jalen Hurts is doing what needs to be done. What are we calling him the best quarterback? Because what? He doesn't throw for 500 yards. He literally makes the best of his team. That man has literally made sure that his offensive line has become very, very, very essential as a quarterback by staying in
What?
his
Think
lane.
about this.
He's
Put
got the number
anybody
one running
behind the
back.
offensive line.
What?
Put Dak behind this. I mean, what do you think happened?
Well, here's the
He's got
thing.
a great offensive line in Thomas, and he hasn't done anything.
Listen, here's the thing.
We don't know because Dak ain't never been there.
Jalen Hurts stays in his lane. He doesn't overplay the position. But at the end of the game, they're winning games and he's in the Super Bowl. Then they get to the Super Bowl and you're looking at Pat Mahomes, you see Jalen Hurts. Go to the seat, you see this guy like him and Pat Mahomes right now gotta be the Brady Peyton Manning or the Eli Manning Brady, whatever. They're up there. I mean, he's gotta be mentioned in the top. The guy's been in the Super Bowl twice and won one. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Gotta say it. Last couple of years, absolutely.
So Donald, what's your thoughts? Who's in the NFC? Who's the best quarterback to you?
Well, I'm definitely gonna go with Hurts, but I like Jaden Daniel because he was the best rookie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best ever rookies.
Like so,
Yeah.
but if they lose that man that they might lose, you might see a different Jaden Daniels
He's gonna go down.
coming up. So I'm gonna
Jaden
go with
Daniels will
Hurts.
turn into a running back. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless he likes to taste the grass, Jaden Daniels is going to turn into a running back.
He can't. He's too small.
He's going to have to get bigger.
My thoughts is Matthew Stafford. I think he's the best quarterback
He's
in
good.
the NFC right now. He's the oldest, but I think as far as if you go down the list, I think he's the best quarterback. If you put him on any other teams, he can win with any of the teams. To me, he's the best quarterback. But we'll see. But on Hurts, I like Hurts, but I think as far as that position, I think he got the best arm. I think he's the best.
But if you really look at it, you gotta say Hurts is number one because he did win the Super Bowl and he is the best quarterback with the use of his team.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Stafford, he got a Super Bowl too.
No.
Yeah, but the point he's making, you ask who is currently the best quarterback in the NFC.
Right.
You can't disagree that Jalen Hurts, because of the fact that they won the Super Bowl, they won the NFC Championship.
They beat down Kansas City.
Larry, did you just say that? What you just
they
say,
beat down Kansas City on a bad day.
Kansas City gonna win the Super Bowl.
But Kansas City coming back this year. That was a fluke. Trust me.
Flukes do happen.
All right.
He cut his hair off. He coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Hey, Larry, listen. That imported water from the Hudson River ain't doing you a drop of good, bro. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Come on.
I tell you, they on a mission. They on a mission.
They got a mission, all right. They're gonna be distant.
Well, I would agree with, but I don't know. Like you were just saying, they got beat down by Philly. I don't know how much of the gap they closed. If them and Philly meet again in the Super Bowl, we just have to see, man. Because
hey, but they played the second game of the season. We're gonna put them up.
Yeah, that'd be a good point. So,
and that's in Kansas City, by the way.
They're playing in Kansas City.
They're playing in Arrowhead, game 2.
Hey,
okay. So I'm gonna ask you guys this: Tyreek Hill. All right, so you know that his teammates are still upset with him. You know, as far as how he acted last year, for the things that he said, he took us up out of the last game. So, do you guys think if the Miami Dolphins get up to a slow start, will they trade Tyreek Hill? Donald, let's start with you. What do you think?
I don't know. They're hot with him, but if we get off to a slow start, I would have to say yes.
Talking about the team, not him, but the team.
Yeah. The team get off to a slow start. I think. I don't know. I don't think they should though. I think he sort of had a reason to be mad. He probably shouldn't have blurred it out, but that frustration came in, man. The guys wasn't playing like they're supposed to. He expected more out of that team, so did I. But will they trade him? I think they will.
What about you, Kendall?
I think everybody's expendable, but he's a talent. Tua's not staying healthy enough to get that ball to him. We saw how dangerous he was in Kansas City. He's arguably the fastest runner in the NFL. But we don't know what's going on in that locker room. Sometimes those kind of talents bring you down. So, yeah, I think they'll trade him if they start up to a slow start. Get big numbers for him.
I think Tua's got a shorter leash than Tyreek, to be honest with you. They've invested a lot in him. I think if they get off to a slower start, I think Tua may be the guy that goes, not Hill.
Okay. What about you, Bishop?
I don't think they'll trade him. They'll play him out this year and make a decision in the off season whether to trade him, get rid of him, or whatever they're going to do. Because at the end of the day, who have they really got for receivers? I mean, they've been working.
What was the guy? Waddle? What's his name? Waddle?
But I'm saying they got to look at what they have for receivers, and then they got to look at the quarterback situation because their backup played more than the starter last year. So, I mean, they got a lot of holes that they got to look at before they can make that decision. You bring the right quarterback in with Tyreek Hill, and that's an automatic win right there. Cousins ain't doing nothing, so why don't you just go to Miami?
What about you, Larry? What do you think?
Tyreek got guaranteed money, guaranteed big money, and he can stay home and still get paid. So they not going to release him, okay? Because nobody going to take that huge contract,
Okay.
And if they do release him, they're going to have to pay that contract, so he's not going nowhere.
Oh, I didn't know that. So that's a good point.
I didn't know that either. Because now didn't Kansas City give him the contract and trade him, or he got it after he got?
No, he got it after he went to Miami. Miami wanted to give him all this money to show that they love him.
So, do you guys know? Did he sign a 4-year deal? This might be his last year coming.
No, it's not. It's not his last year.
I think it's 5.
Okay.
I think he got 2 more years of this contract at least.
Second or third year of this deal.
That's guaranteed money.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I say that they may go with they may go 2 or more because they're not going to be able to make no one's going to be able to want to take that contract. Now Tua is making decent money, but they'll probably if he is to be traded, they'll probably make it so that the team that he gets traded to takes on that contract.
True.
Right.
Yeah. So NBA real quick. Malik Bridges and the Knicks, they agreed to a 4-year, $150 million extension. What's your thoughts, Bishop? You got the Knicks signed back there. Well, let's see what you
Here
think.
we go again. And I'm sorry, I like Bridges. I really do. But to me, this feels like another Charlie Ward situation. And I'm saying it from this perspective. Bridges brings some things to the Knicks that are usable. But Bridges doesn't bring what they're paying him to the Knicks. Okay? If you remember back in, 87, 88, something like that, they signed a football player, Charlie Ward, $54 million. And how good was Charlie Ward? Inside of 2 years, Charlie who was what we were saying. So here we go again. I would have said they should have signed Bridges with incentives to get him to the $150 million. The problem is they've stolen, and New York, we understand it's one of the biggest stages in sports, but stop handing these guys big money. Make them earn it. Make them earn it. I'm gonna wind up with this. On 150 million, I'm giving you 75 guaranteed over 3 years, over 5 years. The other 75 million you earn. We get to the playoffs, you get another 20 million. We get to the championship, you get another 30 million. We win the championship, you get the rest of that money all within a 3-year period. That's supposed. I mean, you got to make them earn it. Bridges ain't gonna earn that kind of money just because he blocked one shot last year and got us to the next round to only get us kicked out. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm having
All right, Anthony, what's your thoughts? You a Nick man too, right?
Yeah, there's about 3 of us left now. But you don't give starter money to a 6-man.
Thank you.
I mean, he's a
Right.
player. You just there's no need to overpay and see this hurts them because they're still going to have to make another move, either when camp comes or during the season. If put it this way, if they're serious about getting to the finals, they've just messed up their cap by giving him this cash. Because even if they some whatever they try to go after Giannis or somebody else that become, how are they going to pay him?
All right, so before I'm gonna add another question to that, dealing with the Knicks, because now if you look at the NBA, the Eastern Conference, right? Boston look like they traded some of the guys. Boston don't look like they're gonna be as good as they were. With the injuries, you got Brown out hurt and Tatum, right?
And they're still dangling Horford.
Milwaukee, don't know about them. Philly's all banged up, and Indiana, they. So I'm gonna get back to you two guys. You guys answer all the questions. If the Knicks don't make it to the NBA Finals, is the season a disappointed with the way the Eastern Conference is? What's your thoughts, Kendall?
Well, the Knicks are not going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, so it's going to be a disappointing season. I don't think they're going to get past Detroit. I don't think they're going to get past Orlando. Nope. They got some problems in the East. They got Cleveland. They got problems in the East. They're not going to be there. And like Anthony said, you gave us 6 men starter money. And now you're kind of, you're top heavy now. So he's going to have to earn that money. We'll see what happens, but nah. I don't think they get past Detroit, Cleveland, or Orlando. Orlando's a long team. They look really good.
Yes.
So I think the Knicks are just, hey, they're the Knicks.
Hey,
matter of fact, could someone
by the beginning of the season, Kendall? You hear what I said?
Uh-huh.
Henry will have on an Orlando jersey by the beginning of the season.
And by the way, I was passed by an orange and blue interior Rolls Royce yesterday. I couldn't take a picture of it. That's got to be a Knick player on the Jersey Turnpike.
I bet you that's Bridges. What he did with that money, he bought himself a
yeah, it was orange, and I couldn't take a picture because my truck has a camera inside. I was like, listen.
I'm telling you, that car. Kendall,
can you be sure that wasn't the Bishop driving that?
Frazier has that blue Rolls Royce with the orange interior. He actually
and Monroe, Earl of Pearl had a Rolls Royce also.
I don't know what color it was, but I know Frazier's was blue and orange.
He still has a bar out there called Clyde's.
Let's go look at Bishop Garage and see what he got.
Reverend Doctor.
Hey, I can tell you what I got. I got a Cadillac XTS luxury edition. That's all I got. Nothing compared to them guys.
What's your thoughts, Don, on the Knicks?
I got. The Knicks are doing what they always do.
Wasting money.
I'm not surprised at this move. The Knicks remind me of Dallas Cowboys. They don't be wanting a decent team. They say they do.
Come on.
Every chance they get to really have one, they're going to do something to mess it up.
Right.
I have to go along with everything that Kendall and everybody else been saying. The Knicks is not going to be there. They're not even trying to be there when you make these kind of moves.
I took down my way to next year banner. I think I better put it back up. It looks like
So everybody think that the Knicks can't get out of the East? That's what
I did. Knicks has got a problem.
No,
Brunson gave up a lot of money for this team. He gave a lot of money. You're going to see some animosity. It's not going to be cohesive. They're not going nowhere.
Right.
Because you paying all this money out, and Brunson suffered, gave a whole lot of money for the team. And now we're going backwards. We got rid of the coach. I think he's not too happy. you know. And I think he won his money now.
They ain't gonna give it to him now.
It's too late now.
I hate to agree with Larry on that, but he's right. One time.
Hold it. We didn't get any drama going before we close out. Okay. I want to know how come Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not on this list.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
That's crazy.
Why?
And why is Julius Erving number 10?
So this is Shaquille O'Neal's list.
Yeah. I mean, why you got to put Kareem up there somewhere?
Don, here, just for the fact that in his early years he dominated Wilt Chamberlain.
Kobe's not over LeBron.
Kobe is not even over Larry Bird. I'm sorry.
And he's not over Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain should be just somewhere at the top.
Wilt Chamberlain should be
at the top
3.
Yeah, Kareem should be on that list.
But you know what else is harmful? Because they will not accept and receive Julius Erving's ABA career. Because if they add his ABA career, that puts Irving in the top 5 automatically.
Absolutely.
Yep. I agree with that.
See, the problem here is whoever makes these lists, I know it's Shaquille's list, but you got to remember, Shaquille is always like doing something. He was probably at Home Depot making something. Anyway, I'll agree with Michael.
Or burning a pizza, one or the other.
Listen, Kareem should be on that list.
He's making money, trust me.
We should all make up our own list of the top 10 all-time NBA players.
All right.
Everybody compare it and see how our list
the problem with that, Henry, is we're going to leave out a lot of great ABA players that never got the recognition they needed to get. Okay? You know how we made, I'm going to tell you something. Remember how we made such a big to-do about John Starks dunking over Jordan and Horace Grant at the same time? People forget the fact that Dr. J, and I mean soared over Artis Gilmore and Dan Issel, 2 of the best of the Kentucky Colonels in a playoff game. And when I say he came between them, they both swatted at the ball. One of them got their hand on the ball and almost got their hand broke. Okay? And you can't get a better dunk than that.
Oh, yeah, Dr. J was a bad man.
But see, they don't count his ABA years. That's the problem.
Well, even in the NBA, he dunked better than John Starks. You see,
sure
compare those two.
Sure. I'll never forget that Michael Cooper dunk. I watched that.
A little bit fingertip. It was
hey, Don,
big about that.
Did you watch that Michael Cooper dunk? If I'm Coop, I'm abandoning ship. I'm not even going to chase him. Just let him go do what he do. I mean, and then I like to hear Magic Johnson describe it. He said,
"Oh yeah, I remember that."
Yeah.
That was good.
So anybody got any other thoughts? Anything they want to talk about?
How about the Hall of Fame game? There weren't very many players in there that you wanted to pay attention to. Trey Lance looks interesting. Now, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think Jared Goff is going to lose his starting position, but Trey Lance needs to be a starter on somebody's team. He does not need to be a backup quarterback.
You know what? I hope he this way. I hope he at least gets a chance to stay healthy. That's been the problem because he was the starter for the Niners no less than a couple years ago, but he's to injuries and basically he didn't get any playing time in Dallas, with no surprise. It was pretty much garbage time. But who knows? Maybe if Herbert gets hurt. Who knows?
Oh, he's with the Chargers.
Did Lance go to Pittsburgh at one time?
I think you're thinking of Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, they got Josh Dobbs.
Mm-hmm. He was with San Fran. He was with Dallas.
Dallas, right?
And,
that's the team I think. We were with Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, he was with Dallas. Yeah. He's actually in the last 2 years with
Dallas Cardinals. What's the difference, Larry?
Hey, Dallas don't know players. They don't. They can't have a quarterback.
Dallas or Cardinals? What's the difference? Ain't near one of them going nowhere. And if you're watching, I'm talking about your team.
But Pittsburgh should have got him because they need somebody.
They need something.
Because
right.
what's the name gonna fall apart after game 3? He ain't gonna be no good.
He has rocket jets on his
That many
wall.
games? You giving him that many games?
Who's
Game
that?
I'm
game
giving him
3 if
3
he make
games.
it through game 3, you know.
I'm giving him 3 games myself. 3 games.
Who's that?
Rogers.
Oh,
Um,
Aaron
Oh man,
Rodgers.
granddaddy.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Granddaddy
Yeah,
Rodgers.
I call him Serpico because he looks just like the actor in that movie. So
Al
He's
Pacino.
old, man. He's an old man now. All
Wow.
right. So, anybody got anything else they want to say?
Oh, well said.
Other Dallas, yeah, Dallas ain't going nowhere. I just want to put that out there. Dallas got to finish number 4 in their own division.
All right, we gotta wait till Tuesday to get Bruce back in here.
That's right.
Yeah, we gotta get Bruce back in. But now, Henry, here's something you might want to think about for Tuesday. Everybody come up with their final 4 for the NFL, and let's see how close we can get.
That works.
That'll
All
work. We can do that.
But,
So
you,
but we
you
have
know
2
Kansas City and
assignments.
Philadelphia already there.
Who?
Kansas City and Philly is already in there.
No, for each division. One for the NFC, one for the AFC.
Final
But
four,
here-
one.
The
I
final
got
4.
Philly. I got Philly in the
Oh.
final 4, but I'm putting in a surprise for my final 4, and y'all gonna jump all over.
Bishop, so when
You
you
trying
say
to put the
final four,
Vikings
you
in
talking
there.
about
We ain't gonna be surprised.
in the championship game, in the AFC,
You pick your
NFC
5.
championship game?
All you do is pick your final 4 for now, and at the
Okay.
halfway point of the season, if you're still in it, now you pick your 2 teams in the championships.
Okay, we can do that.
You know, I mean, because you got to figure after game 8, you got to know who's got a shot and who don't.
Right.
Okay, we can
You
do
put
that.
Kansas City in there now. You know Philadelphia already in there.
Well,
You
know,
ain't gotta
Kansas
wait.
City gonna be there. They
Every
they
year.
definitely
Every
gonna be
year.
there. Only way they won't get us Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. As long as he's
That's
healthy, they good. So Donald, everybody good?
Everybody
We're
good.
We
All right,
good.
Bishop, you want to close it out tonight?
I'm gonna defer to Brother Kendall.
All
This
right,
is a brother
Kendall.
that's
Well, I just did the last one. I thought the closer was going to do it, the Reverend
but the
Doctor.
closer's taking the day off because I'm holding out for more money.
Oh,
The
that's
doctor
good.
said
Wait
he
a
hold it
minute.
out.
I
In
think
that
we better make that
case,
platinum a bigger
in that
plaque.
case, hold on. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, I have a prayer request for more money for our Reverend Dr. Bishop, because you will supply all of our need according to your riches and glory. I thank you for my
Yes,
brother
Lord
Anthony
Jesus.
McLean. I thank you for my brother Larry, my brother Henry, and my brother Donald. And I thank you that Henry and I found out that our grandparents were best friends.
Yeah.
Man, God, you have such a sense of humor. But seriously, I thank you, Father, Heavenly Father, for the opportunity to be here in Sports Talk, to talk about sports, Father, to glorify you, to show the love that we have for you and a pastime, praise God. We're taking Sundays back. So I thank you for WJRG and KMI USA Television Network for Sports Talk. And I just thank my brothers in Jesus' name. Amen. And of course,
Amen.
a shout out to our fearless leader,
Yes,
Dr.
Lord.
Jerry Green.
Man.
A shout out to our
Green, yes,
Pastor
Lord.
Walter Teague, who is
Yeah.
not here. A shout out once again also to Bob McCormick. Amen.
Yes,
Did I forget anybody else?
The
And
legendary.
hold on.
The
Yes,
legendary
I
Bruce.
did. The legend. The legend.
Bruce.
We just thank God
Austin.
for the legend, Bruce Alston. And I
And
thank you,
Otis
Father.
Rogers.
And,
Yes, Lord Jesus.
and Otis too. In the name of Jesus, amen.
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 Now, I want you guys to notice something that Kendall said. We
What?
thank you for KMI USA and Sports Center. I mean WJRG. Okay, if Sports Center wants us, if they want the ratings,
Sports.
if
Hey,
they want the
listen.
ratings to really go up,
I'm going.
bring us in for about 5 cents.
Speaking
Hey,
into
it is
existence.
what it is.
Speaking
24 hours
into
of something,
existence.
right?
Hey, I even got a name for the show. WJRG Sports Talk. That would be the name of that show on ESPN.
That's
All
right.
Hey,
He
we
got
don't talk
into
about it so
existence.
doggone bad, we won't be able to go nowhere. Man, I
That's
heard
right.
something on Sports Center that you're a Viking fan. Is you crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. Anyway, I'm enough. Guys, looking forward to you. Let's get ready for some great times. Football
Heck yeah.
4 weeks away. 4 weeks away. I cannot wait. I cannot watch. I love the WNBA, but I just can't watch it right now. I got to wait for playoff time. And baseball, the games are too long.
It's good
Yeah.
for a hot dog and 2 innings, and I gotta go.
All
All
right.
right, y'all.
All right, brothers. Y'all
Take
have
care.
a